afternoon, Jules here from Joolsedesigns at Tatty Creations. Welcome to my channel. So what we're doing today is we're going to make a windowed pocket, and it's made out of an envelope, one of these, and there's two pockets, the front, which is the window, and I've decorated it with book page, and I've stamped a butterfly and flowers on the book page, actually stamped as well, and then made a journaling card just to pop in there. And we've got one of the accordion style tags to pop into the back. So what I need to do now is decide which page I want, and I think, because I've still got some of this left, and where I did book page on that one, I think I might actually put the pocket on that way, so we've got the... Anyway, so what I did was I decided what size I wanted my pocket, and I just folded the envelope down, and it was that. And I know that that's a little bit wider than that, but it doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim this little bit off. So what I've done is I've cut the sides off like that, and I think I'm going to have it that way, because what I did with the other pocket was I just turned a little fold in, that's probably about 1 centimetre, and as long as your two sides match there, you've got a perfect line. And that's where my pocket, and it's quite, because it's envelope, it's quite sturdy paper, and I think, yeah, I think we'll have it there, and that just fits nicely on there. So with the other one, I did it with book page, just using some of this German book page, and I'm going to take it a little bit over the window, which is fine. And I'm just putting that notch there, and I'm just marking there just over the window. So I'm just going to trim this in two parts. There we have our two bits, and they will go over there. They're the right size. And I'm just marking that up there, and we'll put coffee stain paper at both, and then it's just like we piece it in like that. So we'll do the coffee stained paper first. Okay, and then I want a piece in the middle, and what I used was I used some of this, and as you can see, when you take whatever out of the pocket you can now see that that's wonky, because I can see it there, but it doesn't matter. We're going to put a dragonfly or a butterfly or something on it, so I'll just trim this down. Okay. And I'm just taking it a little bit over, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that over there. And all that does is it just strengthens the pocket there, and then we'll just and then we have that. So we have the start of it, but on this one I'm going to put a thumb notch first. So that's 1, 2.5, 1, 2.5, so it's just a little bit. That's the middle. There we are. Just match those 2 dots up and take my take that out, and then just put the dot in the middle, and it worked. And there we have our 2 thumb notches, measuring the same and perfect. So I'm just going to take some, I think we'll take walnut stain. Now I've got a new one. And I'm just going to go over and I think we'll have a little bit of gathered twig. Just on the book pages. I'll do this now before I do anything else. And we'll do a little bit round at the bottom here. And that's perfect, and I think we'll come in here as well, and it just gives it that vignette kind of look. What I want to do now is, on the other one I stitched round that way, but on this I want to stitch round the window. So I will be back in a minute. Oh, okay, so that's me back. So I didn't stitch round that bit, but I stitched round the top. I did zigzag, I did straight stitch round there, and as you can see it's a little bit wonky, but I'm not bothered. And what I want is a butterfly, and what I am going to use is I'm going to use the Rare Earth stamping block. Alright, so I'm just making sure it fits on, and I'm using stays on. Now with the other one I used stays on first, and then I went over it with some oxides, and that gave it that quite muted colour. And stays-ons are permanent, so you can put water, you know, it's water resistant, so you can use water and other mediums over the top. And one thing about using a stamp block, if you miss a bit you can go back over it again. Like that, that's... Yep. and then put it back on. That's better. Now, one of the things I've found that helps is hand sanitizer, because I want this clean, because obviously I'm going to go over the stamp with some oxide inks. So I want all the stays on off. On the other one I used dried marigold and ripe persimmon. I'm going to have a look at the wild honey. Yeah, and I think wild honey can always put a bit of fossilized amber, and I'm just drying it off a bit because I don't want any of the alcohol from the hand sanitizer to get on my stamp block. Not sure what it would do to it, but and then we'll go over it's not made too much, so we'll maybe go for a lemon. It's quite a bright orangey. Nothing. That's better. Now we'll wipe that off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this butterfly out. That cut out, and what I did was I just took a water brush and I just lightly went over it, because the oxide is water resistant. And so we're getting a mixture of the ripe persimmon and the wild honey. I'm not squeezing the water onto the brush, it's just trying to dry it off a little bit. Don't want too much water on it. Okay, and again, and the colours won't be equal, you know, I'll get different colours, it's just what stayed on from the stamp. But it gives it more of a subtle a little bit more water on the body. And there we are. And because I've used the stays on, the black won't move. And we were going to put it that way, weren't we? Yeah. It doesn't matter if it goes over part of the window, all adds to the now, because I've wet this was a layered, this was several layers, because I've been making tags with boot page. So if you do that, that's it. It was just that one. Okay, and I don't think I'm going to do any stamping. On the other one I did stamping on the bottom, but I had a deeper bottom, so I'm not doing that. And I think what I might do is look at my little butterflies and see if I've got anything that actually goes here. I might put another one on. We've got a quite like that one. That seems to go more with that. I like that one, but it's a bit too small. I don't think I've got any. Right, we've got this one. Quite like that. I think we'll use that one. See, I've got pink ones, but I think they're just too pink. These are a bit just too pale. Yeah. Yeah, nope, we're going to use that one. And I've got some bits of thread here. I might put the lid on my glue stick. Alright, so I'm just I know it gives the butterfly more antennae than what they normally have, but just quite like lots of threads. And we'll put that one there. I'll just cut them threads off. Okay, so that's that. So that's a vellum one. I think I'm going to use a green one as well. I did see one here. Because we've got that colour there, so we'll put that. Should we put it there? No, I'm going to put it here. And got one that no. Got two here, so I'm just that's a postage stamp. Should I put that over there? Nope. I'll just cut this in a little bit more. I think we'll put that one down there. Because the butterfly's wing isn't fully down. Which needs a bit of colour Right, so this is a tag that's been embossed, and it's also had gesso on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over, and we'll just give it a little bit of we'll just do some dip dyeing with it. And then I'll just pick up this, and I'm going to go with tea dye because that's more of a peachier colour. I maybe should have done this one first, but never mind. And because it's been embossed, it's picking up more on the embossing. Before I add any more colours. Okay, so that's the tea dye and the wild honey, so we'll put that away. Maybe it's just a little bit too much, but I'm going to dry it. Okay, so I'm going to put some and again I'm going to dry it so the oxide will start to activate now. Okay, and we'll have a little bit more. And again we'll dry it. Get some smaller. And there you can see all the little bits where it's started to activate. Now I think now's the time to put a different colour. So we've got these colours, so it's this one. Right, so I'm going to have to use tumbled glass green. Where's the speckled egg? Ah. Probably the speckled egg, and I've got that in there. And I'm just mixing that a bit. Okay, and again we'll just wipe that up. Right, So I think we've got the perfect mix of colours there, although you're not going to see that. But it'll go with the page. So what to do now is put a dandelion on it. But because it's embossed, I'm going to struggle. Which is fine. And I'm going to use the onyx black in the VersaFine. And I think just drop it there like that. And I'm just pushing it down so that it goes. Yeah, so we're getting kind of a sketchy type look because it's going over the oxides, which are like chalky. I quite like that. And I think we'll have just these two here. And again, yep. And we'll wipe I'll just put that over there, and then we'll put a ribbon slot with in fact what I'll do is I'll put this through and we'll tie it in a knot, I think. Let's see. And this is yellow cream. In fact, no, I'm just going to tie it in a double knot. I don't want a ribbon, a bow in it. I just want some dangly bits. That'll do. And then if you just manipulate it, it will go up like that. Then what we want is we want something to fit in there. And what do we have to fit in there? We've got some of these little tags. They're not got that one. No. I'm just looking to see if this will fit in, because I can turn this into a tag, no problem at all. Yep. So put this away, and this is open, so I'm just going to close it down. And do I want to take a side off? and put it in like that. Nope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that. I'm going to cover it with this. So let me stick this on here and then we'll cut round it. It's got a white edge, so it needs to go in. And then turn it over. And I'll just trim that off. I'm just going to take a little bit off this edge. I'm going to put it in this way. Going to round the corners off and then we'll ink it. And I'll get the vintage photo out, I think. And we'll have a bit of ground espresso on the edges. Just more or less what we've done with this one. And again, a ribbon slider. Slot. Now, do I want the same ribbon in this one? Yep, I'm going to double it up. Just spread it out a bit. And take my stapler and staple it in. Now, what do we want to stamp on the front there? What have I got? Let me see. That go in there. Yep. So we want it it doesn't fit perfect, it's fine. And I'm going to use the smoky grey in the VersaFine because it's not quite jet black. It just looks nice. So we'll just, you won't be able to see all of it, but that's fine. And there we are. Oh, it's quite nice. There we are. And which one did we choose? I think it was one of the back ones. It was this one. Now where we're going to put it, here or here? I think here, because then these colours bring out this and the pink brings out everything else. So as well as the windowed pocket, you got a bit of mixed media there as well. Just sprinkling inks on tags. And some stamping and cutting out. And we'll just put that there. Just hold that there, and forgot to do what I intended to do. So what I want to do is I want to ink around this tag, and again it's just the ground espresso that's on here, and now it's rubbed in a bit. I'm just gently going over the embossed bits on the tag, so it just picks them out. And just going to pick up a little bit of vintage photo. And you'll see the embossed bits just coming out a little bit more clearer as the catch. And then that way it goes more in with the, and we'll cover up any white bits. And there we are. So there, so there we are. So I hope you get something out of that. Again, it's just an envelope, some scraps of book page, scraps of papers. It can be digital, scrapbook papers, anything like that. An envelope with a window in. If you've got an envelope and you haven't got a window, just use one of the things that I've used quite often is this, just to put a window in it. So this measures, whoops, 3 inches by 1 3/4. And I mean, you could cut yourself a nice little square piece of card and do that. If you want a bigger window, you know, use a bigger block. But these are ideal for drawing round and using as templates. Anyway, I hope you get something out of that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.